Positivity is a prison. It's useful up until a certain point for a certain purpose, but inevitably it becomes the obstacle to growth, to evolution, to expansion of your consciousness. Because what is this tendency to constantly override reality with positivity? We see a prevalence of affirmations. We see all sorts of habits and activities of getting you into a different state of being, a heightened state of being, an elevated state of being, a positive state of being. And again, these are useful practices, useful tools. But if we were to investigate the cause of the state that we're attempting to change, what would we find? Well, firstly, we recognize that there's an aversion to it. There's an aversion to what is, to how we feel, to what we're experiencing, to who we are. And there's the ideal that there's something better. There's something greater than what is, than what I am, who I am being. So there's the two sides to this, which is that something is sort of wrong with what is, and there's something better than what is. And there's the flaw. Because we're creating a problem where there is no problem. And then we're attempting to change our circumstance, change our experience to be more in alignment with an ideal that we have, which we fabricated. And most often, that ideal has been fabricated not by our own creative inspiration, but through the conditioning of society, of all the media that we consume, the experiences that we've had from limited paradigms. And then we adopt this ideal as our own. But it's not true to who we are. It's not what we really want. We've never even really questioned it. But we're going to strive for it anyway. And we're going to deny what is for something that someone else wants, ultimately. So we're playing a very tricky game with ourselves, running from what is, trying to create something that we don't really want, but someone else said we should. And we're caught in this perpetual loop of suffering and struggle and inauthenticity. And the only way to free yourself from this is to know yourself with awareness, to bring consciousness to your experience, your immediate experience, to reality as it is right now, and all that it contains. So it's this intimate relationship with what is, and it's the investigation and the identification of all of the elements that we've accumulated that resist our direct experience of reality as it is. It's dissolving that buffer of concepts and ideas and memories and these mental, emotional blockages which buffer our experience. And so then we're never really experiencing reality as it is. We're experiencing reality as we think it is, in the concepts, in the ideas, in the categories, in the definitions that we have practiced. And so this tendency of positivity, positive thinking, is actually escapism. It's an attempt to undermine this moment. It's an attempt to override reality now. And it's dishonoring and discrediting our true self by seeking some sort of idealized fabricated image of who we think we need to be and what we think the world needs to be. And this becomes the main obstacle to our own freedom, peace, connection, harmonious way of being. Because we're constantly denying reality. We're constantly rejecting what is, seeking for what isn't, because that's somehow better. Do you actually believe that? Are you actually aware of the origin of that ideal? What if this moment, as it is, all that it contains, and you as exactly as you are, was all that you ever wanted? Was all that it could ever be? Was more than enough? What if it was fully accepted as it is? In this moment, as an experience, what becomes available when you align yourself fully with that? Intimately relating with reality as it is, not projecting somewhere that it needs to go, something that it needs to become, something that you need to get out of it, but purely a direct relationship with what is, an embrace of life as it is, an acceptance of yourself as you are. That's freedom. And then you can truly create from your heart, from your soul. You have access to true, free creativity, which is coming from a higher faculty of what you are, in full alignment of your true self. Nothing in the background needed from that. Nothing that's missing in that process of creating it, but wholeness, completion, pure creativity. And that's a gift to the world. And that's a true gift to others. And that's the only true fulfillment that we can have as individuals. Being as you are and creating from that infinite well of your true self.